Planning financially for your wedding. Materials provided by Genesis Financial Management. Where to start? If you just recently got engaged, chances are you don't know where to start. We're going to cover the following areas in order to help you better plan financially to meet your goals. Realistic goals, wedding budget, spending guidelines, ways to save, what not to do. Realistic goals. Although you may want the perfect wedding, you have to be realistic about your financial limitations. Don't go into major debt for your wedding. Don't start your marriage off on the wrong foot by getting yourself into major debt. Debt is a major stressor on a marriage. Stick to a well-planned budget. Stay within a specific spending plan. Figure out what your max spending limit is and don't go over it. Save, save, save. Family assistance. Traditionally, parents participate in the cost of the wedding. Have an open discussion with your parents to see what they're willing to commit to. It may be easier to ask each set of parents to finance a particular aspect of the wedding, like the flowers, the ceremony, or the catering. If your funds are really strapped, ask extended relatives to contribute towards the wedding instead of giving you gifts. Cost considerations. There are major factors that will really affect what you will need to set aside. Guest list. There's a cost per head for food and liquor, and these two are typically the biggest expenses in the whole wedding, so changing the guest list size is the surest way to increase or decrease your cost. Wedding setting. Certain venues are more expensive than others. Some, such as City Park, come with no or low fees. Others might cost you the equivalent of a year's college tuition. Date and time. Highly sought after seasons and days of the week are pricier for obvious reasons. Wedding style. The more formal the affair, the more expensive because you'll have to match the site, food, and musical entertainment to the overall upscale tone. Wedding budget. Your wedding budget should include the following areas: food, music, location, flowers, attire, invitations, ceremony, and photography. Recommended spending guidelines. Here is a basic breakdown of what you can expect to pay. Reception 48% to 50%. Ceremony 2 to 3%. Attire 8 to 10%. Flowers 8 to 10%. Entertainment 8 to 10%. Photography, videography 10 to 12%. Stationery 2 to 3%. Wedding rings 2 to 3%. Parking, transportation 2 to 3%. Gifts 2 to 3%. Miscellaneous 8%. Ways to save. Here are some tips to keep the cost down. Cut the guest list. If you're struggling with the budget, consider cutting the guest list. The more people there are, the more expensive it'll be. Pass on the pricey party favors. Most brides still have party favors left over from their wedding. Guests will either forget to take it or aren't interested in monogram details. Therefore, the party favors don't have to be that expensive. Consider printing costs. Pricey invitations will wreak havoc on your budget, not to mention the postage involved in sending out the invites. Try going online to see what the options are of printing the invites yourself for a much lower cost. Less expensive flowers. Choose flowers that are in season and pick locally grown flowers rather than blooms that need to be flown in from afar to reduce costs. Simplify your menu. Reduce the number of overall dinner courses, making 3 courses fabulous costs less than serving 5 individual courses, and keep your menu simple. Delay the expensive honeymoon. Take a less expensive honeymoon and set a date for a honeymoon of your dreams. This way, you can allocate those immediate funds elsewhere and save for your trip in the future. Hold your ceremony and reception in one spot. Hold your ceremony and reception in one spot. It will cut travel time for vendors you pay by the hour. Have bigger tables so you need fewer centerpieces and tablecloths. Offer beer, wine, and signature cocktail instead of a full bar. What not to do. Here are the don'ts of the wedding planning. Don't run up your credit cards. Don't write a check for a deposit on anything until you have thoroughly researched all of your options. Don't increase your spending guidelines by too much. Don't forget to include the minor things to purchase like wedding party gifts, tips for the officiant, and other details. Summary. Although weddings can get really exciting and the emotions run high, don't lose sight of your future. You still have to go back to normal life afterwards, and you don't want to go into financial instability just to have an expensive wedding. Stick to a well-planned budget, don't run up your credit cards, cut costs where you can, and thoroughly research your options before you put down a payment on anything. Good luck and congratulations. Questions, comments, concerns? To speak to one of our personal financial counselors, you can call us at 877-202-9246 or visit us at www.yourgfm.org.